reason why they're my boys. But oh no, I have a not to put one of my boys out there, but he's married and he has like friends on the side, and his justification is basically he takes care of home. He's everything for his wife and that's his. I think that's, and I talked to him about it because I'm not really a believer in it. I haven't been married, but my belief it should be like forever, and it should be love, and it should be once you get married you shouldn't really cheat. But I can't speak of that because just being in like long-term relationships, I've stepped away, and it's just like one of those things. And I don't think it's a rhyme or reason why you do it, but I think it's just if you go out and you get attention from the opposite sex, it's almost like one of those things like if she doesn't know, it won't hurt her, because I don't think it has anything to do. It was touched on. I think it was Greg that touched on it earlier, or maybe it was me and him out there talking in the parking lot before this. But it's just one of those things where I can love my wife, and this is some of my married friends. Their approach on it is, I can have like somebody on the side, but I still love my wife. This is just something I do, and I think that's a lot of men's mentality on it. They don't see any harm in it. No harm, no foul. So that's a cheating aspect that, from my point of view, as far as like the times I've had, it just becomes the reason why I've cheated when I was like in just like monogamous like dating situations is maybe not so monogamous now, but anyway, but to us we agreed that it was monogamous, but it was just more out of boredom, more out of excitement, more out of like not necessarily wanting to be the man, but it's just to go back to the caveman thing, the hunter-gatherer kind of thing, and I think that's kind of like plays into the whole like cheating situation.
Okay, we got some audience feedback here. Let's get to Sid. Go ahead, Sid.
I don't know if a lot of people have taken time to look at the basis of human in relation to nature, but if you look at nature, a lot of animals don't maintain monogamous relationships, and I think these things that I've observed in the animal kingdom apply to us as humans. You got some humans that are just incapable of being monogamous, and if you're dealing with a person that has that nature, then you have to expect them to be the way that they are. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just is what it is.
Not all men cheat now. Let's hold on. We got to get some new people up here. Keisha, you got something to say? Huh? Okay, hold on. We're gonna get Brooklyn. We're gonna get back to you.
I think I definitely actually respect what the brother right here was saying, but I think there is a core value when it comes to anybody that cheats, and that's just selfishness. It's a moment where it's just you doing your own thing, and it's totally outside of what this person right here, whatever relationship you in, whatever the person you're dealing with. You just want me time for me. Either this person is showing you all this attention or whatever the case may be. Yeah, there's fights, all kinds of stuff that come up. But if you want to look at the root cause, there's a moment in time where you just feel like, you know what, forget everything else. I just want to do me. And so you go out and you do it. And that's pretty much, that's what I think.
Okay, let's get Karen. Karen?
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm used to holding the mic. Listen, I think, actually, I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say, Reg, about, I don't know that I've been married twice. I've never found anyone that cheated on me or anything like that. But to tell you the truth, I've, counseled and been around a lot of women that have done way more cheating than any man I've ever met. And I know quite a few men. And the thing of it is that they are so like ninja-like, stealth-like. You would never even know. You have no idea. Like, you would have no idea. The thing about men, maybe they don't think on their feet as women do. They could be in a situation where they're physically, let's say somebody's in this room, husband and wife together, and, if the wife was that type of person, she could already, on a slide, peep somebody else, slipped a number or something, just like that. You would never know it. So I can't, fault the guys or say that all men cheat and they're dogs and stuff, because I've known so many women that were so much more like that. And like the young man said over here about is basically the core of it is selfishness. It's selfishness. It's that in that moment in time, it doesn't really matter about that other person. Not that you don't love them, not that you don't have some affection for your husband or your significant other. It's just that I want to satisfy this need right now, and this person is available, and that's what I do.
All right, we're going to get 2 more responses, and then we're going to go to our sponsors, take a break, and get paid.
Well, I guess my question is, how would you feel if your significant other or spouse cheated on you, right? Because what I hear in a lot of this conversation is it feels very casual, right? I did it because, here's the reason why, here's my justification. So I'd really be interested to hear if you found out that your significant other were cheating on you, how would you feel about it?
You're going to give Ron, go ahead, Ron, go ahead and respond to that real quick.
Hurt. No, we're just like, no, and I agree with the young lady was saying in the back there. It is a very selfish act. But as far as what you're saying about I think most men wouldn't be able to handle that. It's just like one of those things where, it's you're mine and no one else should ever do, touch you. And if they do, I don't want you anymore. And I think that's kind of like the approach I've had like a couple experiences like where that happened, where I found out after the fact, and it was still as hurtful as if I was still in the situation. So I'd be hurt. Okay, we got one more response, and then we're going to go to a sponsor break. Go ahead, Keisha.
I mean, I don't even know if this is a response. As much as I appreciate everybody's, input and opinion, I'm just trying to figure out, when did it get so complicated? I mean, what happened to Jack meets Jill? They get together, they go out, they have a good time. At some point, either there's intimacy or not, or they get married and they have a kid. I mean, it's just gotten so complicated. And, as I sit and I listen to the gentleman who is married, he talks about how, there seems to be this breakdown when he's working, there's this breakdown in communication. There's one side where women are standing over here and the 100 women are standing over here to every, I don't know, maybe 40 guys. And it just seems so complicated. And I think that some of the complication comes from just we have forgotten how to communicate with each other or something. We've forgotten just basic grassroots dynamics of relationships and effective communication. And that's really where the breakdown is. I learned, I'm from New York, but and I've moved here and I've been here for about 5 years. And I have met some of the nicest men. I don't see a drought at all. I don't know what everybody's talking about when they talk about this ratio at all. And I see a plethora of beautiful women who are well-to-do, women who can cook, women who have their who have their careers together and who are looking for good men. So I can't understand, when did it get so complicated? So I don't know if that's a question or a comment, but when did it get complicated?
Just go ahead and leave a number to those women. We got a list of guys in here wanting those numbers, a single panel up there. But we're going to go ahead and go to a sponsor break before the next question. Next question is, how soon is too soon for a woman to talk about marriage? Welcome back to Mr. He Got Game. Let's move on to the next topic, which is, how soon is too soon for a woman to talk about marriage? Is the first date too soon? Let's go with James.
I would hope that was not the question on the first date. But, I mean, with anything, everything takes time. I mean, we've been talking about just getting to know each other, but I think the most important thing, before you decide to get married is really finances. Know where the finances stand before you even make that commitment, because finances is the number one thing that kind of broke up my marriage. Didn't realize where she was with her finances, and then once I was in that situation, it's like, okay, I got to carry my weight and yours. So I think that's a discussion that needs to be talked about before you make that commitment, and whether or not you want to take that responsibility.
Okay, Ron, go ahead. How soon is too soon, Ron, to talk about marriage?
First date is too soon. No, I think it's a case-by-case basis. Because you can connect with someone right away. Like Greg was talking earlier, when he met his wife, he just knew. It wasn't any pretense. It was natural, and it just flowed. But I think you have to be open with it, and you need to speak on the finances, how we're going to do this. One of the things I always ask my married friends are, since both of you guys came into it working, how do you do your money? You know, do you put it in one bank? Do you have your account and you drop some, have a home account and you have your own? So I think you just have like some deep conversations before you even remotely even start talking about marriage. I mean, you can talk about it all you want, but as far as like planning a wedding or marriage, you know, it just takes time. So I don't think you can really put a time frame, but the first date is definitely too soon, and for most guys anyway. And if he's into it like that, then you might want to check him. But yeah, so I think it's just a case by case, and I think as you, the first thing is just get to know each other, and then you can just set the. Exactly. You know?
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Jack Money.
Yes, sir.
You've recently been married, thanks to me, the introduction. You know what I'm saying? But how soon did you and your wife talk about marriage?
I say within a year, the first year. But you got to take into consideration, me and my wife had been around for a while. We've been to the circus. We've seen the show. You know, we've been in relationships, traveled around, and experience played a big part in that. The experiences that we had both been through up to that point, we were both ready to recognize when we saw what we wanted. So we didn't have any, not to harp on the 90 days period, we didn't have the rules and all of these structures. It was two mature people coming together, and it was like, okay, I've been looking for you for a long time. Yep, I've been looking for you too. So we knew right away. That's not always the case, though. Too soon is a lot of women come into a relationship or a date, you know, with marriage on the mind. And that's cool, but you don't need to start waving that flag and, you know, showing rings and, you know, having wedding books out all over the house and all of that. You know, you're going to scare the guy away.
Your colors picked out.
Look for a commitment first. Don't look for a marriage and a ring, and stop watching them Jared commercials and worrying about how big your ring is going to be.
Christmas time.
And, you know,
Unless he's rich. If he's rich, they look real quick. You know what I'm saying? If he's rich. Okay.
It's a gradual thing, though. There's no set time, but, you know, I wouldn't just bring it up within the first, you know, couple of dates or the first 6 months or to a year. But it's a case-by-case basis. But if you bring it up too soon, you'll know it because he'll stop calling probably.
Okay. Let's get to Hamilton of Powerhouse Ministries. I left that out. Let's get this spiritual response from you, Hamilton.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going against the grain, and I want to know soon. And hear me out. The reason I say that is because I want that person that I'm talking to know that my eventual goal is to get married, and I'm not looking just for casual dating. I'm not saying that if I say, you know, I would like to get married one day, I'm not saying, hey, you're the one, we're going to get married. I just want to distinguish that, but I am letting that person know that I'm looking for something serious versus just looking around just to be a serial dater. So yes, personally, I do want to have that conversation up front because I don't like wasting people's time. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm sure not going to let you waste mine. So at least I let that expectation out and say, you know what, my eventual goal, again, is to get married. It's still going to take some time for us to get to know each other. I'm not saying we're going to Jared tomorrow. But that's my goal. And if you don't have it, like you said earlier, if we're not honest like that up front and your goal is just to date, then we might as well just go ahead and go our separate ways and just keep it moving. Versus me wasting your time and I'm thinking one thing and you're thinking something different. We're not going to do it.
Okay, let's get to the next question. This is what the women want to know. What makes a woman a full-time girlfriend or a wife?